you. Are you guys looking cool or are you smiling?
I'm
Okay, good. Okay.
The first time I visited death row, I wasn't expecting to meet somebody the same age as me. From a neighborhood just like ours. Could have been me, Mama.
But what you're doing is gonna make a lot of people upset.
You always taught me to fight for the people who need the help the most. Your life is still meaningful, and I'm gonna do everything possible to keep them from taking it. You don't know what you're into down here in Alabama when you're guilty from the moment you're born.
God.
Mr. McMillan.
We done here.
Mr. McMillan, please.
I'm Bill Newcott from the Saturday Evening Post. And Bryan, I come here from your hometown of Lewes, Delaware. And I'm like, how have things changed in Alabama, or have things changed in Alabama since the setting of this story?
They haven't changed as much. I mean, we've had some success, obviously. We've now gotten 140 people off of death row after being wrongly convicted and unfairly sentenced. And when Jamie asked the question at the beginning of the film, how many people have been released from death row, and he answers it by saying none, that was true. And while we've had that impact, we still are working with a system that is very resistant to fairness. We still have one of the highest death sentencing rates in the country, one of the highest execution rates. We're in a very hostile political environment. There are 19 appellate court judges in Alabama. None of them are black, even though the state is 28% black. There's still resistance, but we are fighting, and I think that's the real change, is that there's a community of people. I now have 150 people on my staff. We've opened this museum called the Legacy Museum, from slavery to mass incarceration. We have this national memorial, and these landmarks have literally changed the landscape. So things have changed, but we're still in the early innings of a real struggle. We are still at the very beginning. And what I keep saying to people is that we're going to need a whole era of truth and justice. It's not going to happen on one day. It's not going to happen in 1 year. We need a whole era to respond to a half century of mass incarceration and 400 years of racial bigotry. But it won't happen if we don't fight. And what makes me excited is that we're fighting, and now we're fighting with tools that we never imagined were possible. Incredibly talented people, Warner Brothers, this industry contributing in a major way. And people will see this film who are reluctant, but hopefully will come out inspired to do more. So we're still in the middle. This is a very challenging political moment, not only in the United States, but across the world. There's a lot of othering going on. There's a lot of hatred. There's a lot of fear and anger. And the politics of fear and anger will make you tolerate things you're not supposed to tolerate. But there's also a response, and I'm thrilled that this is part of that response.